What is up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. My name is Jesse Showalter. I'm your host for this Tuesday impromptu let's check out some designs on Reddit kind of stream. That's what we're doing today. We are checking out designs on Reddit. I'm not a big Reddit user. Anybody out there use Reddit? Not me. Not usually, but there is a design community on Reddit, and I figured we would acknowledge it tonight, and we would check out some design work that's cracking there. So let me know where you're coming from in the chat, whether you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, or Twitch. Let me know what you're doing. I'd love to know where you're coming from, and do you use Reddit? Is that a thing for you? Yeah, so check that out. Let me know in the chat. Let's just make sure everything's cruising and working just fine. All right, we're gonna kick over to, wow, got some weird things happening to my screen. I'm at reddit.com/graphic design, which is one of the multiple channels that we'll be taking a look at tonight. Okay, we'll be taking a look at a graphic design channel, I think, a UI design channel. Haiti Heyman from Italy, what's up? Thanks for joining me on the live stream. Excited that you're here. Yeah, so this is going to be one of many that we're going to be checking out tonight. Should be a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. I mean, I don't usually do stuff like this on Chihuahua. I think I'm having technical difficulties again, folks. As soon as I go live, my screen locks up and I can't see my screen no mo. Why? I don't know. It's a great question. Imed is from Canada. Okay, very cool. Hey, welcome. Can we put something different back here? I'm having the worst technical difficulties. I might have to stop this stream, delete the whole thing. It's not working for me right now, folks. I'm having a lot of stream issues. Lots and lots of stream issues. Okay. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Well, this may be a very short broadcast, everybody. It's the reality of live streaming when you got the technical difficulties like I do. So I had the same technical difficulties in my stream last week where all of a sudden my screen froze up and I couldn't show what was going on my laptop as I'm doing it. And I think it has something to do with my streaming software. So that's rugged. Okay, let's try go over again. But no, sir, I'm getting nothing. It looks like I got something, but it's frozen. I don't know if it's frozen for you guys, though. Yeah, it's pretty much frozen. Okay, well, might be the end of this live stream. Hey, let me know if you have any questions. Hi to Mexico. Hi, Isaias from Mexico, and Angel, and Imed, and Haiti Heyman. Everybody's joining me in the chats and the different things. Having all sorts of the live streaming issues. So let me... Maybe this has turned into less of a check stuff out on Reddit and more of a live stream fix up. So I'm gonna see if I could add a new scene really quickly. Let's see if we can capture some video here. I'm gonna go like this. Up. How was everyone's day? My day was okay, not so bad. Got a little bit of stuff done. It felt good. It felt good. This is me in the background. Nope, no sir. Not it. Now I'm doubling up. Yikes. Oh my goodness. This is the worst thing that could happen. We hide that. Oh jeez. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do here. I tell you what. Just because you like this shirt. Hold on. Let's go back. You like this shirt? This shirt is kind of nice, isn't it? I'm a big fan of this shirt as well. Thanks, Rawl. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm having technical difficulties and I can't show my screen. Or maybe, just maybe, I might be able to. Okay, so hold on. Let's go back and see if we can get something going here. I have an idea. Let's do a window capture. And let's go... like this. Yep. Okay, we're gonna go like this. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing a thing. Okay. Boom. We're gonna do a thing. We're gonna move the thing like that. And I think we're gonna move it like that. Yeah, something like that. All right. Well, I tell you, you know what's weird is I think it's my MacBook Pro. I think my MacBook Pro might be pooping out on me. So, with that being said, we're going to head over to Reddit. Hey, we got something going. Let's go over to Reddit. And We got it. Okay, we had a little bit of technical difficulties. Let's go to the graphic. Let's just star graphic design really quickly. Somebody says, it's alive! I know, it's alive, right? Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of live streaming now and finally check out some of this Reddit action. Hi from Argentina. You look like the player from Grand Theft Auto. You look like the player from Grand Theft Auto Vice City because of this shirt. I love it. I'm so into it. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Do I have a new 16-inch MacBook Pro? No. My MacBook Pro is actually kind of getting up there. So maybe that's the deal. Maybe that's the problem that I'm having is my MacBook Pro. It might be time to replace the MacBook Pro. But hey, we are ready to review some stuff here on Reddit. I might have to also just do a similar thing over here. Let's just really quickly window capture something, and then let's grab my PC browser. Okay, and let's move this down here. All right, now we can see myself on both sides. I do use the new, somebody said you use the new Reddit layout design. I'm living life on the edge. I don't use Reddit barely at all, so I don't know the difference. That's my deal. So let's review some of this here Reddit design. What do we got? I offered free book cover design to writers. Here are the results. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Is this all we get? Just this one shot. Can we blow it up bigger? Okay. Demon Warrior Adventure, Half-Lives, Lightning in the Night. I would read some of these, but they say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but we all know, come on, we judge books by their cover. And if I saw any of these books, I might read these books. I definitely might read this one here, the mildly invasive. I like the color palette that's used. I don't know much about the book. I have a fun idea. Let's look at these book covers and let's see if we can guess what these books might be about, and then should we research them and see if we can find something about these books? Okay, let's do that. Let's check it out. Okay, so let's talk about the Demon Warrior Adventure. Okay, I'm gonna say the Demon Warrior Adventure is probably some sort of, I don't know, like fantasy novel set in a post-apocalyptic kind of demon-infested world. I don't know. Let's check it out. I'm looking this up on my other computer here. Michael Dunsk. What would you say this book is about? The Demon Warrior Adventure? Okay, is this a book? Is this a real book? Nope. We'd be able to find it if it really was. Okay, let's see if are any of these books real? Oh, is this person a liar? Half-Lives, Lucy Key. Okay, I don't see anything about this book. Nope. Oh, Half-Lives, that is a real. Half-Lives, Lucy Heat. I don't know why I'm not finding it. Okay, I'm gonna go to Amazon real quick and just do Half-Lives, Lucy Key. I don't know, it's like a self-published book or something. Okay, so here's the deal. I can't find any of these books, so maybe these are probably like books that have not been published yet. Okay, so now I just have to guess. Half-Lives, I'm gonna say this is a drama about multiple love stories. Half-Lives, multiple love stories that cause ripples in the pond of the lives of the people involved in the story. Lightning in the Kite. Look by Douglas M. Morrow. Looks like it could be a futuristic thriller about Avatar, people living in Avatar bodies. Okay. Mildly invasive. I don't even know. Tiku in Paradise. It's probably like it's like a Life of Pi kind of adventure story, maybe. Judging every book by its cover. I don't know. Cry Wolf. This looks, you know what Cry Wolf, this book right here actually looks like? This looks like maybe a remake. It's like something you'd find in Barnes and Nobles. It's a remake of a classic. So it's probably like the story, like a coming of age story of a child. Yeah, that's what I see there. I could be wrong though. Trackless, a novel by Coco Young. I have no idea. Dark Forest. I have no idea. Prince Keeban's Quest to Kill God. Wow. Okay, kind of like I don't even know. 2020 Stronger Happiness. Man, I don't know. I'm a little confused by some of these book covers. I think in this case the book does not necessarily didn't note. It doesn't really describe the cover very well. Let's see what some of the comments say. Ooh, love the variation. But this is such a neat idea. You know, it is kind of a neat idea. I don't know if I've ever done book cover designs. That's another, chalk that up. That's another thing. Put it on the list of things that I have not done design for, which would be like, I haven't done design for book covers. So that's a thing that I have not done design for. Okay. So interesting stuff. Ugly Unicorn says, are you still training BJJ? I sure am. I am training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a white belt with a couple of stripes. I'm hoping to get my blue belt this year. That's the goal. Blue belt this year. So thanks for asking. You look like somebody said the player from GTA. That shirt pattern in the background of the website with the light opacity. I'm not sure what that means. Yep. Yep. I just got my purple. Somebody just got their purple belt. I'm so jealous. I want my purple belt, but I'm not ready for my purple belt. I know that. That's okay. I'm gonna hang on to my white belt days. Okay, let's look at a different piece of design work here on Reddit and see what we can find. I offered free book cover. That was cool. Put that in the list, on the list of things I want to do. Which website platform do you like the best? What do you think? Webflow. Love Webflow. I'm using Webflow right now for a bunch of projects. So I love Webflow. I'm a big fan. One of my first poster designs that I've made for the theatrical play Husband and Wife. That's a drama. Everyone lied and cheated, but thanks. Okay, let's look at it. What do we think of this? What do we think of this design? Let's open it up full screen. Let's go even bigger. Can we go bigger? No, we can't go bigger. Husband and wife. Okay. It's very literal, I would say, right? It's very literal. That's the only thing that I would say about that is, but it is interesting that he mixed. It's kind of funny because it looks kind of like finger puppets. It's obviously in a different language, so husband and wife down below. I like the juxtaposition. Like, I like the bold colors, the juxtaposition of the white being used inside of it. So that's kind of interesting. The problem that I'm having is the differentiation in colors. Like, this should be like a 3-color design: red, black, white. But you have like red, black, white, and maybe it's just because of the mock-up, but this looks like a gray, right? So if you're gonna mock something up, make sure that it still represents the within limitations, like the original design, which I would think that this needs to be a 3-color palette. I'm not a big fan of the placement of the male and female symbol down here. I almost feel like it just looks like an added element that's been tacked in and it didn't need to be there, right? Wouldn't this be a little bit more beautiful if, and maybe I need to bring my browser down and around a little bit more. Wouldn't this be a little bit more interesting, I think, if it was without that male female symbol? I think it would be. I think it would clear up some space. You'd have more white space between like the giant kind of like focal point of the content and the name. You probably also, if you're dreaming big and dreaming about doing like posters for like theater like performances, you're probably going to need to put some of the credits down below, which is going to mess up this really clean minimal design, but do it a little bit more realistic. Okay, so that's my only kind of reaction to that. I like it though. I think it's super interesting. All right, fan poster for Alien. Okay, I like Alien. It's a good movie. It's a good series of movies. Ooh, yeah. It's a fan poster, right? But technically, it could be whatever you want it to be. I'm not the biggest fan of this. The reason being because it doesn't communicate anything. You can barely see that famous kind of like alien tooth smile from the a classic alien creature there. But it says nothing here, right? Am I reading this wrong? Like, this just looks like a bunch of ticks that should say the letters alien, right? Why does it have the ticks? I don't get it. Yeah, this thing. People are even commenting on it. Why is that thing? It does communicate alien, but only because we know the film. Exactly. Anything that we design should communicate without people having prior knowledge. It should have content and context. Are you tracking with me? Content and context will give meaning to any particular design that you're creating. And so you might have to do a little bit of work to create the context, is all I'm saying there. So, I don't know, just think about that. Think about creating a little bit of context in your designs. Let's head back, shall we? Okay, so that was interesting. I kind of like checking out things on Reddit. We go back up because I didn't do like the thing you're supposed to do on Reddit, which is how do we, upvote. We upvote on Reddit because I dug that one. And this is going to sound harsh. Oh, yikes. That feels yucky to downvote things. Okay. Need feedback on a logo. Ooh, I like this. Small XR company to create a brand style guide. We're currently focused on designing the logo, adjusting the color. You need to adjust the color palette. Oof, that's the thing that's most wrong with this design is the color palette. There's not enough contrast in the color palette. Anybody tracking with me? Anybody agree with me? Disagree with me? It's fine if you disagree with me. There's just nothing that, and I feel like, again, with the off blacks, with the like, you don't want to go all the way. This off black does not belong here. Ooh, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of what's happening here. Yeah, it's not, the orange isn't contrasting. Like, I don't mind the light blue and kind of like dark blue. I don't mind that. That's a good start. But if it's an innovative creation studio, this falls flat a little bit. So you want to go a little bit, you want to push the boundaries a little bit. If you're going to use words inside of the brand tone, like innovation, creation, it's got to really be like, wow, this is awesome. This is amazing. So I would match this like light blue, dark blue palette with like probably like a really deep black, like almost not a pure black, but like much closer than what's here. This off gray is doing nothing for it. The orange sucks. The orange is not doing the trick. I mean, you want to go like reddish, pinkish, salmonish color to really pump this up and give it like a cool vibe. That's the thing that's killing this, is this color palette, in my opinion. Yeah, look at that color palette. This color palette looks like a boating brand, like from the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd buy like a sailboat that had a logo with this like color palette on it. The color palette's just not matching. This is like good to like kind of keep in mind, right? Like when we design things, the designs have to be holistic, like from start to finish, like how we use color, how it impacts the design, how it communicates. Color can ruin a design if you've used the wrong color. That's all I'll say on that, is make sure we're using the right things, right? Yuri says agreed. We got some people watching from Twitch. We got some people on Periscope, because that's still a thing. I can't believe it. And most of you are watching on YouTube. Thanks for being here on the live stream. This is just a casual kind of cruise the interwebs live stream. This is something that's like very, very personal to me. Oh, a University of Hawaii catalog cover. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I lived in Hawaii for like 14 years. So, okay. Okay, here's the problem, okay? I need everyone to keep this in mind. Okay, this is very unique. It's a very unique design struggle. In Hawaii, everybody wants everything to represent Hawaii, to ooze Hawaiian kind of like tone. And so everything ends up looking like this. Everything. Tour companies in Hawaii, colleges in Hawaii, like just tons of stuff like this. And I lived in Hawaii for like 14 years. I worked at a design agency in Hawaii, and everything had to look like this. So you would create something, and then your art director, your creative director, the client would come back and say, "There's no palm fronds. Where's the plumeria? Where's the grass weaved texture on this?" And it was a brutal design constraint. Okay. Let's talk around it, because this is what's needed, and this is what's requested in Hawaii. Man, this is like hitting me in my heart. This is hitting me in my heart. Like, this makes me feel at home with all of this University of Hawaii Manoa. I literally lived 5 minutes away from this university in Hawaii. This is super special and fun to me. Okay, so here's the thing. This is a what we would call a local trend. Okay, David Hardy's in the chat right now saying, from UX standpoint, what are some trends that you're seeing? Not the UI, but the UX. Thanks. Okay, we'll talk about UX trends in a second, but let's talk about the fact that trends can be global. They can be specific to a target demographic or a specific geographical location. What we're looking at right now is a trend, a geographic trend. Okay, so this area needs to represent this area like this. So many things look like this. Besides the geographical trend that we're like seeing right now, I would say there's a few things that I would kind of point out. There's a lot of emphasis on line that's going on here. There's a rhythm they've created with these kind of like diagonal lines that go through, but it all bleeds together because of the need to surrender to this geographical design constraint of like Hawaiian textures and like all that stuff. This would be much better off had these areas with like all the fronds in it, like cleared out sections so there was breathing room in between individual sections. That would have been much better. So this is it's interesting because it's an interesting case study in design constraints and how you have to work within those, because guaranteed, I've worked for lots of clients in Hawaii, and this is the kind of stuff they're looking for, and you're like, oh, this is not the best option. That's what works for them. So sometimes the most aesthetically or visually pleasing thing is not the right answer. Sometimes the thing that markets to the target demographic is the right thing, because as much as I complained on doing stuff like this while I lived there, it was the right answer a lot of the time. So that's very, very interesting. Hey, somebody asked a question. That's perfect time for some question and answer time. All right. So David Hardy asked, from a UX standpoint, what are some trends that you're seeing, not in UI, but in UX? Okay, so here's a UX trend that we're starting to see a lot of, which is integrating like artificial intelligence into interfaces. Okay, the idea being, let's not onboard people, but let's instead make them feel like the onboarding is happening organically as people are moving through the application, whether that be a web application or a mobile application. I don't like this trend. And this is a personal take on this. Side note, that shirt from Hawaii, Smile Out Loud. That's right. This shirt is from Hawaii and I love it. So it's a trend that I don't love, because a lot of times, here's why I don't love it. Take it from personal experience. A lot of times these artificial intelligence bots that are asking questions, it's basically a hyped up choose your own adventure. It's not really algorithmically driven. It's not doing a whole lot for the future experience of the application for the user. It's just not. It's not doing it. So it's a lot of people faking the funk and wishing they could do artificial intelligence without wanting to spend the time and energy in learning and implementing artificial intelligence. That's my thing. So I'm not a big fan of that trend that I see happening. Not a big fan at all. What's another trend that I see happening in user experience design? Here's a trend that I like, actually. I'm seeing a trend of people just in general getting actually almost like skipping an onboarding. So there's some people who are still like kind of stuck on that trend, get rid of that artificial intelligence trend. But some people, for instance, are realizing why TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram are so successful, because the minute you launch onto the app, the onboarding is start digesting content, start getting hooked. So I hate to say it, but that addictive attitude or that addictive kind of like habit that they're helping you to form and creates consistent users. It creates active users. It creates time on the app. So getting people to the content and then giving minimal highlights for them to discover. It's a very hard balance to kind of find, but that's my opinion. Yeah, VR and AR. Yeah, maybe you've been asked to do that a whole lot. Man, oh man. It's another one of those things where people are like, we want VR. I had a client, holy cow. I had a client come to me with a massive budget that I turned down because this person wanted something and they were just throwing the ideas of VR and AR at me. They didn't really know what they wanted. Now, in the end, I just send them packing because I just knew that no matter what I did, this client wasn't going to be happy. They weren't going to be happy because AR and VR seemed interesting to them, but what they really needed is sales, and they were just hyped up on the fad of AR and VR. So yeah, definitely. Hey, somebody said, hit that button, guys. Yeah, hit that like, subscribe button if you haven't done before. Become a subscriber of the channel. And if you're interested, I also have such a thing as channel members. Channel members get behind the scenes, early access to videos and content. And this Friday, I'm doing another live stream on creating a personal brand. But right after that, I'm doing a members only video hangout. I did one 2 weeks ago. It was great. 12 people joined me. I got to do things like one-on-one, like reviews. I got to ask questions, answer questions. And at the end, my favorite thing ever, I got to do some role play, client designer role play with one of my members and prepare them for an upcoming client interaction, which was super fun. So hit that join button if you're watching on YouTube, become a member, and get all the benefits. All right, let's go back to looking at some things on Reddit. I liked this one. Travel magazine layout critique is greatly appreciated. Okay. Intro. Ooh, it's pretty. Is this all we get? Yep, this is all we get. Let's look at it full screen, check it out. Okay. What's funny is like it's pretty, but it's mainly pretty because the photo, the image, and the colors are beautiful. I don't think that the layout itself is exceptionally beautiful. I think this, at first glance, you kind of like it. This is interesting. At first glance, you kind of like it. But at second, third, fourth, fifth glance, you realize that maybe this tag over here is just a little bit, it's just a little bit too much, right? It could have been a little bit smaller, like it went a little bit overboard. The proportions of this are off. The white space for the image itself is not being honored. It's just not all there. Also, you start to look again, and the typography here for like the main article, you would kind of see in an editorial layout, it's a little bit weak. It's not really cracking, right? So I think there's just a little bit off in the proportions of certain elements, because what do we want people to look at? We want the brand to be prevalent. If that brand is like Lac Bay, Filipino travel magazine, we want that to be somewhat prevalent, although it's not the biggest thing, right? Okay, like if you look like you look at Oprah magazine or other magazine cover. Let's look at some magazine covers, okay? Magazine. Gosh, I can't spell today. I can't type more than anything. Magazine covers. Give me some images of magazine covers, okay? Okay, Vogue is big on this magazine cover, right? But like, it doesn't detract or distract from the featured content, which is like whoever this guy is from BTS, and then the actual like elements on the page. Like again, look at this one, like in InStyle magazine. InStyle is hidden behind like the subject matter or the like the person who's modeling, right? Everything else, the articles themselves are the important thing. So that's something to keep in mind for editorial work. It's like, look, Cosmopolitan. Like Chrissy Teigen is on the cover, she's covering the brand of Cosmopolitan. It's not taking the show. It's not the highlight of the show. The articles themselves are the things that draw us in. So again, this is just, excuse me, kind of a standard design principle of keeping things that are primary. And yes, the brand's important, but it's not necessarily primary, right? Yeah, like, yeah, you need the title. The title's got to be big. Somebody's saying you need the title. The title has to be much bigger than what's going on here. Not the brand, but the title of the article or interesting things to make me open them up. Raw Springer says, do you have any videos on UI design planning from sketching to wireframe to prototyping? I need a formal system to follow. I don't have a formal system. I did a whole video, Raw, on designing and coding a website from start to finish. So look for that series on my YouTube channel. I went from like planning to wireframing to low res and mood boarding all the way up to high fidelity for the website. You could take that and kind of like re-implement, because that's a pretty systematic process, a formal system to follow. You could implement that same system into mobile applications, web applications. So I would say that for you. Okay, keep that. Maybe, hopefully that'll help you. All right, let's jump back over to a little bit more Reddit design and see what we going on here. What we got going? Stripe, homepage gradient. Yep. Oh, I love anything that's like beginner. Let's look. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Let's go, Cowboy Burger. Okay. Ooh, this looks like some of my first designs back when I was a youngin'. Okay. Y'all, there's a lot to say about this. Okay. Not bad. David Hardy said, oh my Lord. The font is terrible. Okay, Raw, that's exactly what I was going to go to, because you could, if you took the font out of this, okay, take the font out of the top, right? The Cowboy Burger font out of the top. And then just look at the burger and the grunge and the texture. It could be kind of cool, right? It could be kind of gritty on purpose. Maybe. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to give them the texture. But it's that font. It's that typography, bro. Angel said burn it. Yeah, I wouldn't burn it. I would revise it. I would mature it and bring a little bit of design maturity to it. And again, I'd bring a little bit of intentionality and foresight and planning to this, right? Like, what is this person hoping to do? What is this poster, this flyer, whatever this is? If it better be a poster, because that's a lot of text. The biggest issue that this person has is typography. The typography that's chosen here for body copy, don't be using that display font like that. This typography here, don't be using that typography. I would guide you to taking like a typography basics course of some kind, right? Yeah, you could put it on a solid background. I don't mind. Maybe I do, but I don't mind the variation, the shapes, the grunge, the texture, the cutout, all that's. I don't mind that stuff, because that could be very stylistic depending on the venue or like the brand. Could be, but there's just no way around this typography. This typography has got to go. This is novice, never done like work that you've been paid for in your life, kind of like typography. That's what this is. So that's my hot take on this. Okay. Make that budget pop. Get rid of that font sans serif. Yeah. It needs a lot of that typographic work. But again, you got to give it some love, right? Like, this is my first time making a flyer as a beginner. Let's talk about the techniques that are involved in this poster design or flyer design that this person hasn't quite got a hold of yet, but is really trying, right? Weren't we all here? Give them props. Give them props for that. I give them mad props, okay? Okay, let's do another one. Ooh, I like poster design, honest feedback, InDesign layout 7 by, yeah, that's a tutorial or something. Responsive handling, responsive power, rose coffee. I'm building my vintage antique design skill. Oh, vintage antique design skill. That's cool. I tell you, this is not something I do a whole lot of. posted their work for feedback. This is awesome. I follow some historical subs and totally thought this was posted in one of those. Yeah, this is cool. This is interesting, right? Okay, if you're going for historical, kind of like retro design style, like this fits within that. This fits within that style, obviously. The cross hatching, right? The texture, typography is actually pretty on point for the time. Like you would expect a poster like this in like the early like 1920s. You know, definitely like has that French vibe, like whatever the brand is or the product that they're selling. Here's my only critique of this, because I actually like it. I have two critiques of this. It's a little too busy, but at the same time a little too perfect. Are you tracking with me? So, okay, it's a little too busy and there's like no white space in here. So it almost would have been better to maybe kill one or two elements as you got closer to the center, because I really want to be able to focus on the typography here. Le meilleur de Congo. I don't know how to say that. That thing there. And these things have the white space around them, but these things do not. So I might have gotten rid of maybe some of the pattern that's inside of the banner to match the banner on top. I might have repeated a style down here. Again, cross-hatching, you know, like landscape, all that stuff is like really indicative of the time and the style. The coffee beans, obviously, you need. They look like coffee beans. They look like coffee beans to you? They look like coffee beans to me. You know, the shapes are there. Like, I'm not so sure. Yeah, it just needs a little bit of empty space, a little bit of white space here so things can pop. But then also, it's a little too perfect. Like, for instance, I feel like these lines where the shape is kind of masked in is like a little bit too perfect. Maybe the column, it has a little bit of grunge texture like applied to it, but I might want to see even like a little bit of, maybe I don't want to see a little waviness there. We have some waviness here. So maybe I take that back. Maybe it's just the little bit of needed white space. Yeah, Angel says, oui, oui. Yeah, I don't speak, voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? That's the song. I don't speak any French. Okay, so yeah, maybe that's all I would say about that. That's, whoa, chalk that up to another style that I've never done, that retro style. Hi, I'm a beginner in design and need feedback on this landing page since I don't really know or notice myself what could be improved. It's part of my graphic design portfolio. Thank you all in advance. Critique and feedback is welcome. Okay. Woo! This is my wheelhouse. We're about to get crazy on this thing. Ready? Let's do it. Let's get into it. Okay. First of all, I will say a few things. Number one, presentation. I love that you not only created the design itself, but then you have the foresight. You've looked at some Behance portfolios. You overlaid some kind of blurred beans and brought the whole thing into a composition. Good on you. Very, very nice. Here's the problem. The logo, and maybe this is probably not what you were going for with the logo, but that hat on that word, on that B character is atrocious. Nothing about that looks like it was done with any sort of thought or care. It just looks like you typed out Mr. Bean and then threw a logo or an icon of a hat or cap or something on it. I can't get down with it. Okay. Man, you know, okay, first thing, your call to action, let's get very UI specific. Your call to action doesn't look like a call to action in this. The grouping of elements is not there. You tracking with what I'm saying? Like, standardize, if we're gonna go really standard here, what this should have is coffee with a pinch of comedy and either like one or two line of basic body copy here, and then you need a button that looks like a button that's balanced. So this text that's inside of here is off balance. You need it to look a little bit more tappable. It needs to stand out, right? Basic reading patterns is like a Z. So I'm going to read across this thing from here to there, down across. Hopefully I catch the call to action here and I go for it. Coffee with a pinch of comedy. You know, not that this is what you're doing, but UX writing, horrible in this, in my opinion. The mock-up, not so bad. I'm not sure, like, you have this really weird mixture of like organic shapes like bubbles and fun things, and you know, but then you have this really wonky, it looks like audio lines. It's a bit confusing. I think you're sending mixed signals. Amy Payton, my friend, says I'm the coolest ever. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I just like to get on here and stream sometimes and talk about random things. What color would I use? Raw Springer says for the CTA button. You need some sort of contrasting color, right? Like, so you can work in an analogous palette, or, you know, but I would just use a complementary color. There's really no color palette like established here in this thing. So if you don't know about color, how to use color, I would, oh gosh, there's got to be like, there's actually, I'm going to recommend a tutorial that is not on my own channel. Hold on. I'm going to go the Future Academy. I would recommend you here, the Future Academy. And I would recommend this video right now, how not to suck at color. And then for the person that was there earlier who was having some struggles, I would recommend, where was the typography? 3 design principles. That's a good one for sure. How to make great color palettes. That's a good one. How to use color. That's a good one. Come on. These are all good ones. Yeah, I would go yellow if I was going to be really, really honest. Somebody said, would you go yellow? Yeah, I would go yellow. Oh my gosh. Look at all the amazing work we've looked at. I would probably go yellow. Like a nice organic, not like a bright, maybe like a Dijon-y mustard color yellow, something that pops. I might do that. Yeah, because nothing about this is, there's no other colors to work off of. So you just probably, the reason you're saying yellow is because you're looking for an analogous color palette that goes along with the brown coffee. Yeah, that's probably why you're saying yellow. I agree with you. Yep. We can use call to action button color from the images. Yeah, you could use something like Adobe Color, and you could upload a photo and then grab a color palette out of that. You can absolutely do that. If you don't know how to do that, let's show you really quick. Adobe Color. Yeah. It used to be called Cooler with a K. They stopped doing that, so that's the thing. No, I don't need the tour. I just haven't been here for a while. Okay, let's go. Extract a theme. And then you would be able to grab like an image, boom, like this, right? And it gives you a color palette. How simple is that? Whatever image you want, right? Maybe I want to grab, boom. I can go to Unsplash. I can be like, here's a really beautiful color palette. Oh, let's download this image right here, okay? Let's go back. Let's extract a theme, refresh the page. I'm going to grab this image, downloads, beep, beep, beep. I'm going to drag this image in here. Boom. Oh, that is actually a really beautiful color palette. Hello. So this is the thing that you could do. If you're ever doing concept work, side note, if you're ever doing concept work, this is a great thing to do. Like, let's say you're going to do, everybody should do a piece. If you're a UI or web designer, you should do concept work. And you should do like a landing page, right? Find a beautiful image like this from Unsplash, drag it in to Adobe Color, color.adobe.com, grab that color palette, and boom, you have your challenge. You have your design constraints. You need to create a landing page for this beautiful place, wherever this is, right? And I need to use the colors that were generated in the color palette for other things. So maybe that's like a, I don't know where this is, but let's just say it's travel to Portugal, right? Use the color palette, beautiful typography, one-page landing page, be like a value proposition, maybe like a pricing table. Ooh, that would be a sweet concept project. I might take this live stream, that idea, that image, that color palette, and I might just do a stream where I design something from scratch and just see if we can do it. That could be fun. Would that be fun? I feel like that'd be fun. All right. That's pretty cool. I like it. I'm into it. I dig it. All right. So, okay, let's go back. Let's do one more and then let's get the heck out of Dodge, you know, and stop streaming. Okay. Cause we don't need to be streaming all day and all night. Y'all got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. Let's go back. Okay, Begin anytime. I swear I see the word beginner and I'm like, let me look at it. I want to look at it. Please let me look at it. Hello, beginner here. I love some critique and feedback on my latest UI and UX design based on a plant app. Plantly. It's an app where you can buy plants, search for info about them, keep track of their daily needs. Thank you for your feedback in advance. Okay, let's go, Plantly. Boy, oh boy. Okay. Let's take it all in. Everybody take it in. Put your feedback, your helpful critique and feedback into the chat. As you're thinking, I'm going to start going. Here we go. Ready? Let's zoom in a little bit if we can. Oh my goodness. Well, that's good that we zoomed in. Love the colors. Color choices are cool. They're interesting. Illustrations, fine. Good times. Typography, meh. But what's really not a meh is how close this next button, this round next button is to the pagination. It feels weird. Doesn't it feel weird? You could have put this pagination anywhere else. Also, it's massive. Paginations don't need to be this big. You could put these up above, like maybe right over here. You could have, and I'm not, maybe this is gonna be personal, not a fan of the round next button. Do a normal button, bro. Do a normal button in there. I feel like I get that you're trying to do like organic shapes and all that kind of stuff, but like maybe go organic shape like up here. Maybe go like way more organic here, and then leave the buttons to look like buttons. That's what I would say. Okay. Okay, let's say, yeah, it made me think it's too much, right? Click next. What do? We go into like some sort of main interface. If I was, okay, UX design wise, I don't know where to go, right? If I'm here, Saturday 6, what is today? Horrific UX copy, right? Like when people land on some sort of dashboard interface, they need to know what you want them to do. If it's a greeting, like, hello, Jesse, like, give me some information here. Like, right? Part of, this is interesting. Keep this in mind. Part of getting better at user interface design is learning what's capable for development. Okay. So when you're thinking about design, a lot of times like concept projects like this, younger designers are going like, I didn't really know what to write right there. Well, the more knowledge that we will have of what's capable in like programmatically, then the better chance we have of writing like interesting things or implementing interesting content inside of our interfaces. For instance, if I was to look at this interface and it was me, I wouldn't say Saturday the 6th, what is today? I would say, hello, Jesse, in small text right here. And then this would say, I don't know, maybe it's, if we're doing like outdoor gardens, it would be like the temperature for the day. Maybe it would be like a count of how many plants I have and how many need to be watered. How many are in risk of like drying out. I would offer some sort of like metric here. That's what I would think. Okay. Yeah. Oh, David said, talk to your software developers. They will help you out. If you don't have any, find some, make some friends that are software developers, right? And ask them about them. You know, a lot of times we get so fixated on learning things about design, we don't realize that what we design turns into code. So why would we not ask people about code? It'll only influence the types of designs that we do, right? Okay. So yeah, shop plants, watering journal, botanical encyclopedia. Yeah. Okay. This is suffering from the concept project kind of conceptitis, where it's like, we don't really know what to put. We're just going to put a bunch of junk in there. Let's get, if we're just going to base this off of like design stuff, let's get nitty gritty design stuff. This is doing nothing. This overhanging like shape behind the text, it didn't need to be there. If you wanted to do something spicy, you could have taken this shape and maybe overlaid it off canvas a little bit to make it something that's kind of interesting. But as it is, it doesn't really do a whole lot of anything except for take up extra space and remove any sort of white space that you would have had. So I would have either made it bigger and gone off canvas or remove the thing completely to create white space. That's just me. Also, usually when you enter into sections, kind of standard UI design is you're probably going to have some sort of section header here and then much smaller icons. These icons are massive. They are massive. Okay. Ignacio said, wow, this means a lot to me. Check this out. Ignacio said, before you go, just want to tell you, you're the GOAT. Greatest of all time, the GOAT, Jesse. You have no idea how much you have helped me with your videos. I'm in the route of becoming a full stack designer because of you. Thanks for that. Oh my gosh. That's exciting, dude. That's so exciting, Ignacio. Hey, this is, man, I'm about to cry. I'm seriously about to cry because the whole reason I started my YouTube channel was to help people like me 12 years ago when I was like getting started in the design industry. And I'm like, all I want to do is get paid to do something that I like to do. All I want to do is like create something and have that be my thing. That's awesome. That's like amazing. Ignacio, good for you, man. God bless you, dude. Like, get it done. You know, I think that's so cool. Good luck on your journey, Haiti Heyman says. And also, I have the coolest community and audience. People are like very uplifting, very encouraging, very positive. I think that's awesome. Thank you guys for being so amazing, man. Yeah, so that's great. Good. Congratulations, dude, on your journey. I'm really excited. I'm glad I could be even like the smallest like part of that journey, dude. Like, yeah, that's so cool. All right, right on. Let's go back. Let's look at the last screen that's here, and then we're going to end this live stream. Call it a night. This is about 9 o'clock at night. See now, section header, beautiful. Icon, not so beautiful. Why are you doing that? This is weird. Okay, so here's what this thing suffers from, okay? A lack of consistency across the board, right? You got some icons that are dark and filled and massive. You got some that are thin and kind of like modern and kind of cutesy. You got some that are kind of squished and white down here. You got some that are like, this is supposed to be an avatar. Bro, just put an avatar in there. Don't put that thing because it's confusing. It looks like an icon. Also, this style is not matching the rest of what you got going on. So I think there needs to be a consolidation of style here. Consolidate the styles. Bring it together a little bit. Bring it together a little bit, all right? Just, that's what I would say. And that's for all of us, right? Like, you know, consistency is key. As you're designing, you know, it's David Hardy just said, get in that design system, use those templates. It's not going to hurt anybody. That's true. Now, here's the question that we might have is, when's the right time to start implementing a design system? Here's how it goes for me. I'm just going to speak for me. Start designing, and let's say you're designing from the ground up. Let's say I'm designing this Plantly app from the ground up, right? I'm going to start designing. I'm going to start kind of like riffing ideas. I'm going to create a mood board, a wireframe, yada, yada, yada. Then I'm going to start designing high fidelity screens. I'm going to find a button that works for me that I like. I'm going to create a component out of that in whatever design software that I'm using. I'm going to create variants. Like, let's say you're using Figma. I'm going to create variants inside of that design software so that now I have a size of button, a style of button, and then I'm going to create like scales of that button. So large, medium, small. I've covered tons of, I've given myself assets and ammunition to now use. I'm going to start sticking with those. Then I'm going to keep designing. I'm going to create like maybe like a line item. I'm going to create some typography. Once I see the need, I don't create elements until I see the need for them, like typography, buttons, yada, yada, yada. I wait until I'm like, oh, I need another button here. That's when I create that component and those variants. That's when I start kind of like linking things together. Okay. So that's me. I'm going to create first probably what you would call like a pattern library. And I'm going to start using those patterns throughout to create consistency. I'm going to pull in probably an icon library and stick to that library because there's consistency. Now, once I present it, they go, we don't like these icons. That's fine. But at least they're stinking consistent, aren't they? Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I would say is I build it as you need it. And then once you start getting, your design starts scaling and getting really, really big. Once you start having multiple screens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 screens, if you don't have some sort of at least pattern library in place, you are probably very inconsistent already at that point. Okay. You know, somebody says I should right now redesign this Plantly app inside of Figma. I could do that. I don't got time for that right now, but I could do that. Hey, so that's, you know, hey, who knows? Maybe come back for a later stream. Maybe we'll do that on a later stream. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification icon so you know when another live stream. If you hit that bell notification, I live stream like this out of nowhere. Boom, you get notified. You can join me. Be super duper fun. And if you want a little bit more, consider becoming one of my members. Click that blue join button. You become one of my YouTube members. You get behind the scenes access. You get all my design files whenever I do a design. I make sure that I post those in my YouTube community tab. As well as this Friday, I'm going to be doing a live stream in the morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then directly after that, I'm going to be doing a members only video hangout, which will be super fun. So you get to join me for a hangout. It's going to be the bomb. And I had lots of fun with my members before. So, hey, maybe consider doing that. I appreciate you guys for joining me on the stream. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being awesome. Thank you to Ignacio for the kind words. Thank you for the support. And thanks for participating. We will see you in the next live stream, and I'll see you throughout the week. Stay tuned for more content and fun stuff. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Stay tuned. See you later.